Ooh. Hello. We'll have a quick one today. Mostly because I haven't honestly done anything at all lately. Lately not. This is what that's about. Essentially, my preaching has been a complete and utter failure. People have devolved into apathy. No understanding is garnered from anything that I sort of say. My kind will is barely enough to sustain anything that I've sort of mentioned. It's just a complete fucking waste. It's very difficult to be like. It's not like, but it's difficult. It's very difficult to be like. Here's something I'm trying to say. Maybe it will better. Here's something I'm trying to say. Maybe it will better yourself with. But then people go, you're a local. But then people go, you're a local. I'm ironly poisoned. Internet terms, weepy. Okay. So long as I'm actually effective. That's fine, you know. It's fine. Alright, that's okay. But I don't feel like so long as I'm actually effective with what I'm doing, it's fine. It's just difficult. But I don't feel like I am effective. I lost. It's just difficult. Very difficult. So. Very difficult. The aspects of this is that I'm going to continue on attempting. The aspects of this is that I'm going to continue on attempting. And probably do more videos when I feel better about the situation at hand. I suppose. But I'm gonna be honest, it's wearing me down quite a bit. See, I understood. My whole spiritual belief is about this premise. I can't believe just. See, I understood. My whole spiritual belief is about this premise, right? Kill the poison bodily and reach clarity. Find fulfillment, absolutely so. But I never really sort of like understood the level of just need of capacity to understand, to exist. Because that's like the normal sort of nature. Lacking of understanding. Lacking of capability. I understand that there's no sort of need of capacity to understand, to exist. Because that's like the mortal sort of nature of it. But I understand being to be adamantly against, or adamantly misrepresent, or adamantly vapid. It's just I understand being so. Sure. Because I have been. And I probably am. Like, this is probably a very fucking vapid situation that I'm prospecting. That millions of people who undergo and never had a real answer for it. Because they're not the supermen who garnish all understanding. I'm drinking Coca-Cola, by the way. I like Coca-Cola. It has nothing bad in it, and thus I drink it. This is non-diet, because diet is shit. Unless it has sweeteners. Unless it doesn't have sweeteners, in which I don't understand how it's diet if it doesn't have sweeteners in it. So, drink Coca-Cola is good for you. So, okay. Oh. how do you even... Like, I understand my upbringing was a fucking disaster, right? Disaster on a couple of fronts of being... going to the boarding school of all the autistic and having therapy shoved down me throat until I fucking hated myself. Falling into porn addiction and being awful, punishing myself for no particular reason other than because I just felt my life being controlled and crumbling, and because of my health, because of my love affairs, because of everything. That's fine, you know. You can't sort of understand from a position that isn't wretched, right? If you're a wretched human being, to which is no such thing, there's no such thing as evil. None. It does not exist. It is invented. And thus a perspection, and thus fake and gay. Evil does not exist. There is simply those who forget they are good, and the concept of those who do not understand. And I understand it takes a while to sort of like time invested into something that you don't particularly perceive as a value because it has no inherent value. You know, it's not like a lump of gold that has no real sort of value nowadays outside of it looks shiny. There's provenance to gold, because gold inherently had a history of value. Now it's just wires in your computer part. Oh, it makes my fucking Ethernet cable go faster. I get that. I get it. I do get it. I might look mentally dilapidated. I might speak mentally dilapidated, but at least sort of you have no aspects to understand beyond that, so why would you just sort of... I know why. Because you yourself are also of this, and your world is defined from yourself. Thus, if you do not understand yourself, you are incapable of understanding the world. Therefore... Fuck other people. Don't listen to me. I get it. Just listen. If you're gonna put your fucking toes into the water and attempt to understand the world, at least sort of grasp an aspects of forming tools to do so. It's not a difficult aspect. I saw a fucking thing about a genius tells us how to become genius. And the first thing he put is listen, which is wrong. You don't listen to anything. Fuck other people. Don't listen to me. Ignore what I'm saying. Just listen to yourself, mate. That's all you need. I'm having philosophical discussions with myself because I've not... Make sure you're actually listening to yourself. Understand what you're saying. It is not just like a... It's not the fairest. I shall stick my head into the ocean, and maybe fishes will tell me of my dreams. I think that's a correct aspect. Examine the entirety to which you exist in a full scope, and thus you'll have the means to sort of prosper. Absolutely. Okay, so I had another sort of... Grab a bunch of people. I've been cheating on you. I'm sorry to say. I'm having philosophical discussions with myself because I've not been feeling... I've been a bit burnt, quite frankly. It's not a fair assertion. It's a very childish thing to feel, but I feel it none the same. Because I'm very childish in nature. I think that's a correct aspect to be. It's in contrast to relationships that I want. I want and my goals, like my overarching dream, is to grab a bunch of people, through whatever fucking means, go off to like a corner of the world that's unseen and make a kingdom. But, you know, in a real sense, and not like a fake gay pandering sense, where it's a kingdom of circumstance and not a kingdom of blood kingship, you know? Yeah. That is a very sort of basic fucking human need. It's simply family, right? Yeah. Yeah. Today I had the realization that I'm probably just... Well, it wasn't today that I had this realization. It's been an internal sort of struggle. Not being enough. Not doing the thing. Not performing. This... You always tell yourself, you know, when the moment comes, you're going to strike. I'll be ready. I'll do the thing. I'll save the day. I'll be the hero of myself. I won't let myself down. But in hindsight, in reflection, in your memories, you've probably already failed many a times. Because I basically did. Essentially, I failed with my grandparents. My grandmother, I don't know how it could have been of any sort of help. The fact that I didn't go up with my mum to help with my mum, take care of them, is it's kind of a fucking shame, really. Because I should have been like, yes, Mum, I'll come and I'll help. She never fucking asked. So I wasn't quite sure if she wanted me to. But that's like, I should have wanted to. But I did want to. But I didn't. And then my grandfather died. That was a lot more of a... There was something to do, maybe. But... Was it the proper thing to do? Oh, you have to be proper when you're British. You have to be proper. You have to follow the social sort of etiquette of what the fuck is going on at the moment. Otherwise, you just don't exist. You're not a person. You don't fit into the fucking society. I understand that. I think. I was talking to a friend about my failings to preach to people and my sort of delusions of working community. A simple notion of the butchers that I go to. I thought that I become more than... I had like a hoping feeling of being more than just a customer, you know, being like a friend. But I returned myself to an interaction to where I had spent weeks producing nettle juice, which nobody gives a fuck about. I haven't discovered a very better method of making the nettle juice. It's fair enough. It's okay. If I'm useless in like a physical way, that's okay. But she accepted this drink that I gave to her, and I had the aspects of like, oh, if they like it, I would like, you know, that's an incentive for me to sort of start up a business, actually put more effort into it. But I came back the next day and it was like, yeah, we poured that down the sink. Yeah, you're actually a weird hobo person, and you scare us, and you're like a loser, and this was probably full of drugs and feces. What was in it? Oh, just nettles and water, the thing that you said the other day. Okay, yeah, yeah. Thank you for buying us saucy rolls. Fuck off. And that was a while ago, right? And that's understandable. They probably felt that because she... Well, I shouldn't get into it more than that. Because that's the sort of conflict to where... The building of the Victorian era, the Georgian stuff, and then you have the 60s there's a couple of women across the street, and they used to run a place called Scott across the street, and they were beautiful, quite frankly. Absolutely beautiful, wonderful people who, if they didn't see the kindness of others, they at least understood it, you know? On like a fundamental level, they understood it. Genuinely kind. Oh, I'm beginning to tear up because I miss my loneliness. It's soon been replaced with a place called Tasty Town. The people there are fucking hipster city folks from Manchester who are running away from the immigrants. And that's been sort of like the aspects of this area. This is like as far run down from England as possible. You got your seaside town, rundown. It's not even a seaside town because there's no seaside near us, but we are in the same sort of design philosophies that the building of the Victorian area, the Georgian stuff, and then you have the 60s war, economic crisis buildings around with the god-awful granite paintings on the wall. And then you have the 2000 era sort of refurbished fucking pseudo-futuristic minimalist crap of just the lacking of any sort of empathy. That's the build. That's over here. That's here. That's most of England as well, but that's here as well. This is the far reaches of it, more or less. Your mum was a very smart businesswoman and bought houses and like the corner of the universe for cheap. The city folk moving out, taking over. Except they're not really taking over because if they were capable of taking over, they wouldn't have needed to move out of their own place in the fucking first place. The aspects of care are very sort of particular, I think. I was watching a hoarder sort of documentary, American hoarder documentary, the Pacific sort of person who watched it. A dude who had like a rat infestation, but like the worst aspects of a rat infestation you can possibly have. And then you understand nothing of why this person would choose to live with thousands of fucking rats at their feet. Shit, piss, dead rats, living rats, rat feeders. They live under the walls because the house is wood. Because Americans live fucking mentally, just mentally. It's respectable and commendable. You need a level of illusion to live. But this person has a lot of similarities with me. I've got a moth infestation that I've not been able to sort of solve in a particularly good way. Oh, I'm entirely alone, so I have no real motivation to live past the minimalist I can bear to live. So the worst environment that I have would be the worst that this is currently. And I don't know if this is like a slow shaving of society, right? You don't know, I don't know, we don't know. And this person, you have to sort of question yourself. Or at least I question myself and went, right, how the fuck does somebody like this live like this? How does it come about? So you got to understand he has this house that he lived with his wife, and his wife was, I forget if she died or she got divorced or they didn't get married. It's something to that sort of effect. So there was a goal, failed. He's hung up in this pot in his place. Why is he staying there? So you have to ask yourself the three sort of questions on the matter. The 4 questions if you're truly an enlightened individual. Well, 3 is okay to sort of base yourself on. You can go for 2, you can go for the 1. Never go for the 0. Always ask some sort of fucking question. Bitch. I'm sorry. Frustration. So. You're gonna take a little bit of moments to sort of realize. Allow yourself. Stop rushing. It's a clear lacking of attachment to the dude's life. He's just sort of living in it. There's no attachment to it. So you have to see that. You go, why does he have no attachment to his life? The aspects is, his life was simply given to him. He's never had to work for his life, he never had to sort of dream for his life. He's never sort of suffered for his life. His life was just simply given to him. An aspect I can understand. Aspects 2 is, this was not the goal. He needed these things to achieve his goal, but his goals was not achieved, and he failed state, which is an understandable aspect. Thus he had no care for this invention that he had around him, because his caring was for the achieving of the goal that he had in mind. Understandable aspects, understandable, absolutely so. Third sort of aspects is that he... what was it again? Was that he... forgive me. This is going to take a little bit of moments to sort of realise. Allow yourself. Stop rushing it. Cunt! That was also uncalled for. I do apologise. Except I don't. And it's now eating the right part of my brain, to which is kind of the aspects of I'm waffling, that's why I forgot. I had this all concise, and I usually go about it in a concise manner and put it down on the board. Essentially, don't anyone fucking rush you. Anyone rushing you in your life is a detriment to you, and you must kill them entirely. You just in tune to the emotions. Don't even stand for it. Get fucking autastic. Autastic upon the mastic. I'm rushing myself. Don't stand for yourself. Okay, so the third thing I forget, clearly. He has no attachment to it. He had... Okay. It was a plan that failed. Or... let's just go for the honest answer, right? The GI robot. The Marvel sort of thing, not Suicide Squad. It's gone. I'm sorry. We'll come to it later on. But the point is, that's sort of the framework to which you need to sort of go on. Perhaps me drinking Coca-Cola was destroyed by drink. But I doubt it, since I felt a lot better mentally drinking. In fact, I felt so better drinking Coca-Cola. I worried if I've grown the left part of my brain back to its fullest form. And it's now eating the right part of my brain, to which is kind of a... like a crumbling Rubik Goldman machine. He's simple and kind and pure. Essentially, it's no good. Of course, the central of my brain, the pineal gland, I destroyed many years ago because being in tune to the emotions of the universe is, you know, you kind of fall into the suffering bucket. You have to get rid of it. And I think muting myself in that sort of capacity was the correct thing, otherwise I would be a fucking wreck of these realizations. To which I am a fucking wreck of these realizations, that I have the aspects of being a machine. Okay. One other sort of thing, kind of a silly thing, but it's interesting, I've been thinking about it for a while. The GI robot, the Marvel sort of thing from the not the Suicide Squad, been pulling that because that one thing did very well. People like team fucking stuff, so they're cartoonies. Yeah. So, a particular scene, it's in like, you type in GI robot, and he does the one scene compilation, and it's got the one scene that you know. It has the song, Coin-Operated Boy, by the Dustin Dolls, which is a song about a manipulator being sad about manipulating, and this is a manipulation. It's sort of a thing, it's quite funny, because GI Robot is also like a manipulation of, he's like, he's supposed to be this autist. He's like, he's got his autist with his special fixation, he doesn't understand them all, and he's simple and kind and pure, but that's like, he has no understanding of what it is that he's fixated on, is the thing, none whatsoever. Which is, this is shown because he shoots a fucking Jenga tower, because he identifies like a swastika on it. And he stacks fucking bricks. He points. He sees the Nazi in the fucking Jenga tower, and he shoots it in like a very sort of cartoonish, comical sense, and it's silly, but it shows entirely the character, right? He's an autist that doesn't understand the thing that he is autistic about, because the thing that he is autistic about is an emotion for him. He thinks, oh, I'm a rat catcher, I'll kill rats and I'll be praised for it, in a very sort of boyish, childish fashion sense. But he's killed all the rats, and now he's looking at the other small mammals. Oh, I got a squirrel, I'm happy, I got a squirrel, it's a small mammal thing, it's got a tail. Is it a nuisance? Is it a rat? I don't know. My instincts drive me to kill this small, fluffy animal. And he's right to do so, but it's not what he should be doing.
It's always the excuse. That is the context of, like, what I would define evil.
Because the instincts to murder is
robbing you the ability
not all
of understanding a situation. That,
especially in a very sort of societal sense. And this is like,
that is the creation of
this is where the innocence comes to play, because you can forgive a character like that for being stupid, naive, autistic, not understanding, but the fault cannot be forgiven. If somebody does something horrific, you cannot sort of forgive the fault, right? If
shot up a school, killed 49 children.
Like, if you cannot attach this to the person themselves, to which you should, quite frankly, if you respect anybody at all, you attach their faults to them. You cannot sort of separate from this sort of aspect at a much more in-depth clerical sort of analytical of this sort of situation. Because the aspects of the preaching is where it's the most. But
And I say, no, I didn't.
that's okay.
No, I did not bash that small autistic child's head in with a piano stick. I did not do that. I did not do that at all. I am
The
not a
weird
psychopath.
circle
But
is fucking wicked.
no, it was all in the head. No,
Get closer and I'll go and say.
they're stupid children.
So,
They have no sense of suffering in the world. They have no sense of They don't have a sense of suffering. But how could they live? How could
So
they
you have to address
a life to live? They don't suffer.
so you can't
They
just
don't
forgive the thing that's
Thus
been
they
done,
don't exist. And therefore I never kill them.
regardless of the person that's done it.
Cannot be killed. You're robbing somebody of their ability to fucking understand.
Essentially. He's
To reach
autistic.
these conclusions themselves.
He's killed some people.
And it's just... You're being sort of...
It's not his fault. He's autistic. That's an excuse, right? That's the excuse. There's always the excuse. That is the context of, like, what I would define evil as. Somebody robbing you the ability of understanding a situation. That is what evil is. In my context. There's no such thing as evil, right? That is the creation of evil.
Murderer that lies to you will murder again.
So,
Without hesitation. Versus a murderer who does not lie to you.
this is why I've been sort of off and on and thinking,
Maybe.
if you commit a crime, if you do something awful, so long as you're honest about it, that's not as bad as somebody who is dishonest about it, you know? So if I commit a crime and I go, yeah, I shot up a school, killed 40 million children, and then went home and raped their parents.
You have to commit
Horrific things, but at least I'm honest about it. That's like a bam, bish, bomb in the can. There you go. Nobody has to worry about it beyond that. They can all do the process of forgiving themselves and forgiving
why orphans is bad. Because he himself
the
committed
faultings of each other's and all that sort of stuff. And I can do the same to myself, and you know. But if I lie to you, and I say, no, I didn't, no, I did not bash that small autistic child's head in with a piano stick. I did not do that. I did not do that at all. I am not a psychopathic murderer. No, it was all in your head. No. In fact, you know, they deserve it if somebody was because, you know, they're stupid children. They fucking have no sense of suffering in the world. They have no sense of suffering in the world. They don't have a sense of suffering in the world. But how could they live? How could they have a life to live if they don't suffer? They have no attachments to things. Thus, they don't exist. And therefore, I never killed them. Because a thing that doesn't exist cannot be killed. You're robbing somebody of their ability to fucking understand. to reach these conclusions themselves. And it's just...
a little bit more of an aspectic sort of...
You're being sort of horseshit, pulled around. You're like a lump of clay being sort of slowly moulded. Oh yes, no, the hands wrapped around you mould you into what you are formed. Oh, if you don't exist and you don't know how to exist, that's okay. I shall exploit you anyway. Oh, I've achieved all that I wanted to do. Goodbye.
These things are.
Basically.
Annihilate any sort of...
Basically, because a murderer that lies to you will murder again without hesitation, versus a murderer who does not lie to you. You can take his word that he won't murder again.
Do not shoot.
Maybe. Invent a scenario where things are going to work out for you, and all you're doing is making excuses. Now, it's possible that you have no awareness, and thus the understanding of so comes from you, lackingly, portuitively. Because there is no morals in like a realistic sense. You have to commit awfulness to understand why awfulness is bad. You know, maybe awfulness is committed upon you, maybe you have a father figure that you love daily who teaches you why awfulness is bad. because he himself committed these awfulnesses, or had them committed upon himself, or had to deal with. Right? Honestly, the people who fucking teach morals, who deal with morals, are the worst at understanding morals, because they do it in only in practical senses. They read a book, they go, yeah, this makes sense. I'm fully incapable of understanding ethical errors. I'm a complete mongoloid. I'll accept this. Go for it. Not understanding the level of understanding required, which is simply just understanding yourself. You know? That's it. Understand yourself and you have everything. That's fucking it. Sorry. Little bit more of an aspectic sort of approach. Kindness and beauty stems from you when you are as you are, mate, and nothing more. The beauty of the world is yours when you claim it to be nothing more than simply so. Absolutely so. Predeterminations of what these things are annihilate any sort of reasonable discord within yourself. Should never be taking root. Do not root. Do not groot. Do not shoot. Pass go. Go to jail. All that you know. So, yes. Have a good day. Oh, I've stopped eating fucking biscuits because they were killing me. Because they had palm oil in them. And it was just like, take a lawnmower to my brain. Which is an interesting and an insane sort of option, because when you cut back something, it grows greater. So that's why you should fast and kill your brain for a week to undo the damages that you've suffered throughout your entire life, and then accept yourself to sort of regrow your brain. Become a brain-toided, fantastic, beautiful friendo. Absolutely so, Will. Aspect yourself beyond the perceptions of those that you sort of claim to remember yourself. The consistency is important, but you must be true to your consistencies. And if you're not true to your consistency, then you should not be consistent. And you should allow yourself to reinvent yourself. Absolutely sure, mate. You take care of yourself. You're beautiful. I love you. Bye.